Interesting. Wow.
Mm.
That's very interesting. So the mystic school and Osho's techniques. I've come to learn that part of a teacher's role is to sort of poke the ego quite a bit.
Yeah. Uh,
Uh, so
awakened
yeah, talk.
teacher is awakened teacher is a destroyer. They're not here to make you comfortable. They're here to
Mm,
take things off you, not give you anything
yeah,
because you've already got too much.
yeah.
It's about becoming less than, not more than.
Mm, mm. So what did Osho do? Like this mystic school, and then yeah, Osho's techniques. Can you dive deeper into that a bit?
I did 4 months then again. So this is 8 months altogether straight in mystery school. And I did encounter groups. My main teacher was a guy called Tirtha, Ananda Tirtha. And I liked him because he could see me and he was prepared to tell me what he could see. And in Australia, I'd run out of people who could see me or prepared to tell me what they could see. They just couldn't. I was too tricky. But this guy could see me. So I chose him as my teacher as
Mm,
far as being undone. And I
mm,
stayed with him for ages. I ended up living with him in Italy for 5 months in 80, 89, no, bit, yeah, no, 87. Yeah, I spent
mm,
5 months with him there. And that was amazing. He took me apart. He just
mm,
stripped me. And it was brilliant because I was such a big ego. I was such a big somebody, and I needed to become a nobody. And he helped introduce that to me.
mm,
This let's be a nobody. We're not going anywhere.
mm.
Just be a nobody.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And how more sort of specific? Give some example how we could do that in a way.
Well, I would put my opinions out about subjects,
Mm,
which would be basically showing myself off, and he'd challenge it. It was
mm,
encounter. Encounter group is basically you're challenged on what you're saying, what you're believing. And so you can actually possibly see a different point of view and see yourself more clearly. And I already had the understanding that there was two ways of raising your consciousness levels, because to raise your consciousness levels, you have to see through your mind. One
mm,
is witnessing the mind with the silent witness, and the other is encounter, where people tell you what they can see. People who can tell you what they see, and you go, okay. And he was my main teacher in that, and he was wonderful for me. I have so much gratitude to him for the time that I spent with him at the ranch and also in Italy.
mm, interesting.
But when
Yeah.
you ask me for techniques, man, have you ever been involved in full encounter? I think I did 9 years of it or longer. I did 9 years before I became a sannyasin because I was already into encounter therapy before I met Osho. And then I did another, I don't know, 7 years with him. So there's a lot of years of encounter.
Yeah, yeah,
I loved it. I loved it.
yeah.
It's like up until I started Encounter when I was 19 years old, I used to like to blue. I'd be on the streets, I'd be out at pubs, I'd be bluing people, with
Mhm.
their fists and feet. And all of a sudden, I find Encounter where people are telling each other what they think aggressively and no one's getting hit. It was brilliant.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. Yeah, because I've been thinking more deeper, I guess, around teachers lately. I've had my own sort of a journey around teachers, and what would you say is sort of important? Because there's a lot of unawakened teachers as well, I think. Um, so what would you say is like important for kind of someone like me on the path on the journey? What should you watch for and watch out for when taking on a teacher?
So once I started holding satsang, I realized that people had to trust me.
Mm,
Otherwise, I couldn't take them into the unknown. So what I did is I've allowed people to live with me for the last 25 years so they can watch me and make sure I'm walking my talk. And what's more, making sure that they can feel the presence 24 hours a day around me.
mm,
Because Someone who's fully awake has a presence around them 24 hours a day. That's the only possibility of telling if someone's awake, because anyone can do the right hand gestures, use the right tone of voice,
Mm,
sound holy, dress in robes, but only someone who has a presence 24 hours a day, 7 days a week is awake.
mm,
And so, because I needed people to trust me, because I'm taking them into the unknown, I had people live with me and watch me and see what I was like, see if I was walking my talk.
mm, mm. So you kind of have to meet the teacher in person. Online teachers wouldn't be
I,
recommended.
they can be, but you probably need to have a talk to some of their followers and see what, you need to check it out. A seeker needs to be a doubter. You've got to be a doubter to be a seeker. You can't have faith in anything because you've got to undo everything. And we
Mm,
undo everything by challenging belief systems.
mm,
And so I was a doubter before I met Osho. I was a seeker since I can remember, since I was a little boy. I
mm,
was always challenging everybody on everything they said.
mm,
And that's what's needed. You need to challenge and find out. And so if you're doing online satsangs, it's not a bad idea to talk to people who have been around that teacher for quite a while and see what they experience around that teacher.
mm,
There is a lot of misunderstanding around spiritual teachers, though. Some spiritual teachers are actually just into psychology. They're into helping people, work their problems out and have better lives, making it them more comfortable. A spiritual teacher who's awake is not here to make you comfortable. They're here to teach you unconditional surrender. And that can only be done by making you uncomfortable, by creating a form of chaos around you so you can practice let go.
mm,
And there's this mistake that people think that spiritual awake teachers are supposed to be like psychologists where they rescue you.
yeah, yeah.
There's there's no rescuing. You're not
Mm,
being rescued. You're
mm,
being taken apart so you can get free.
mm,
And Osho was a chaos creator,
yeah.
and I am a chaos creator because
Mm,
in chaos we learn to let go. In chaos we learn to surrender,
mm,
and that's all we need to learn. All you need to learn to be ready for enlightenment is unconditional surrender. Nothing else. But we learn that through practice. We don't learn it through understanding.
mm,
Understanding doesn't help you. You actually
mm,
have to practice it.
mm. Yeah. There's been some quite uncomfortable moments surrounding my teachers in the Vipassanas.